This is very complicated and a very long-winded answer. I'm going to make you a very short one, but I will link this in comments to a much longer one that I will put on YouTube. Okay, there are 10 points that I want to make here. I'll make them brief, but much longer on my YouTube. Karmic debt. Choices that we make and decisions that we choose to do and not to do in one life affects another life. It creates a ripple effect, and it affects many other souls. When you make a choice or you don't make a choice and it affects others, then you have a debt to pay. And that may have affected them emotionally, psychologically, physically, environmentally. But it's not just that individual person. It creates this ripple effect in the giant ocean that our souls all belong to. We are all just drops in the ocean. Now there's karmic credit. That's number 2. Karmic credit is when we do good deeds. We do good things. We create a ripple effect, but it has a positive outcome to everybody around you. Everything, every animal. It might even be that you were a farmer. You could have lived on your own and you grew herbs and farmed and you just treated your environment well. You create karmic credit. You may have learned something, developed skills, attributed to maybe career or how you serve your community. You might have become a healer, a teacher, a philosopher, a prophet. There's all different things that you can learn that have nothing to do with your career, and then you gain karmic credit. You come into this lifetime and you use up that karmic credit anywhere you want, anytime you want, all that you want. Number 3, it looks like this one's going to be the long one because I just can't stop. I mean, I get downloads and I can't stop. So number 3, you have a mission, you have a destiny, and I see this in everybody's chart. When I do the readings, I tell them what their destiny and what their mission. If you get stuck and you get trapped and you don't fulfill your destiny in this lifetime, you got to come back and do it all over again. If you miss a big chunk of it, you got to come back and you got to finish it out. Number 4, your contribution to society. You have to serve society one way or another. And if you didn't do that, if you were really self-serving, and we live in we're actually propelled, convinced that we need to live in this self-serving world now. There's so many of us coming back to do everything but serve ourselves. And if you were selfish, really selfish in past lives, you will come here as a servant. You will get nothing and you will have to give. The more you give, the less you'll get, because you are here to kind of catch up on all the serving that you were supposed to do, like the contribution you were supposed to have to society. Number 5. If in a past life you contributed to global catastrophe or global wrongdoing, and you may have done it unwillingly, you might have went off to war, become a sergeant, been very hard on your allies or your soldiers that were around you. You got really caught up in the danger, in the excitement and the fear. And if you got caught up in that and it contributed to a global issue, a global problem, you're going to come back and do something that needs to fix it. And I can see that in people's charts too. What is that? What are you supposed to fix? What was your past life when you were involved in that? A lot of people with Aries energy or Capricorn energy or Saturn or Mars energy or first house and 10th house, I can see that what your past life was, specifically if it's connected to Pluto. Number 6, if you became the victim, if you were the victim, if you were the martyr, if you were the one that suffered, if you didn't fight for yourself, you didn't fight for anyone, maybe you became a hermit, maybe you hid away, maybe you were forced to hide and you didn't fight back. If you were that person in a past life, then you also contributed to the negative, the suffering, the victim of, like, they're portals, right? So you contribute to the portal where everybody else is going to suffer as well, because you make that portal exist. I did a whole thing on portals. You can go look back on that one. But you're going to have to come back and you're going to have to fight. So when I see a lot of Aries or Libra in someone's chart, or a lot of oppositions, then I know that you've come back to be the exact opposite of what you were. And those are tough. Those are tough lives, because it doesn't feel comfortable. It's not natural. Number 7, if you're here to change the ancestral and cultural paradigm. So let's say you belong to a very patriarchal, masculine, dominant society. You will come back in that same society, in that same culture, in that same religion, in this lifetime, and you will fight against it. You will want to separate from your parents. You won't want to go along with their dogma. You'll fight against their traditions, and your parents will have a hard time. They will think that you don't love them, you don't care about them enough because you don't want to do what's traditional. And yet, secretly, you'll have one parent that sort of wants you to fight against the paradigm. You'll have children that will carry on the new legacy that you create. So if you had a past life like that, you've come into this life doing the same thing. A lot of times I will see people that have a lot of Aquarius or Sagittarius in their charts that are here to do. 8, if you had talents and gifts in past lives and you didn't use it in that lifetime, then you have to come back and not only add to that talent and gift that you have, but you will be unsatisfied in any job or any volunteer, any contribution you do to society, unless you do what you are talented and gifted in from past lives. And I can see that in somebody's chart. Number 9, if you weren't kind, then you won't receive kindness in this lifetime until you become very, very kind with no expectations. And number 10, if you had a short lifetime the last time, you're going to have a long one in this lifetime. And how do you know? You can well, I can see that usually with Uranus in the 12th house kind of combination. But you'll know because you'll have this fear all the time that this isn't going to be a long life. This is going to be a short life. I'm going to die at 40, or I'm not going to live past 60, or you're going to have that feeling. But it actually means that that's what your last life was. You get a little bit of PTSD around it. And this one's going to be a long haul. So make the best of it. I hope that answers your question. I love your feedback. What does everybody think? Any of those resonate with you? Listen to this again. It was a long one.